So this is attempt 3 at video week 2 in America, New York. I have had so many attempts at trying to do this, but it keeps fucking up. So first time an announcement went for like 5 minutes over my video, and the second time I had recorded the entire 10-minute video and realised that the headphones I was using the microphone with didn't work, and it was just a buzzing sound, so I'm going to have to go into work and get them swapped out. But anyway, I thought I would record from Grand Central today as a representation of the fact that I've started work. And if most of you would know that I actually work in Grand Central, so that's kind of exciting. I work just over there at the Apple Store, so come and have a look at me. Come and see me, I should say. So yeah, I've started work. Started work on the Monday. I had a really good day. I met a lot of people, and I can probably remember a quarter, if that, of their names, because there was just so many people that I was being introduced to. Very happy bunch. And I had a really, really good day learning sort of all the different things that they do here in comparison to back home, and all the different policies that they've got. I spent the entire first day, that's pretty much what we're doing, is we're just going through the policies and that sort of stuff. And the second day I was shadowing, so following around a personal trainer, because as part of our job here that we have to do all the different roles, and personal training is one of them, which we didn't do back home. I didn't do back home. So I've got to do personal training here, which is kind of cool, because I kind of like that aspect of the business a bit more than doing repairs. But anyway, so I started work, I've had a couple of shifts, made a few friends from there, and that's starting to get good. I went to a comedy show on the weekend with my roommate, and I believe it's one of his ex-students. It was actually really, really funny, the show. There's about 5 comedians that went up on the stage, and they sort of just had their little 30-minute, 20-minute set kind of thing. It was in this little underground bar that was really, really cool to go to. It was actually really funny there, because they sort of in the beginning, one of the hosts in the beginning said, "Is there anyone here from out of America?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to put my hand up, because I don't want to be pointed out in front of everyone. That's just not how I do things." And this couple put their hands up, and they're like, "Oh, we're from Australia." And I was like, for a second, I was like, "Is that what we sound like?" Which I kind of hope I don't sound anything like that. But it's funny being around a certain accent for so long, and then you start to realise your own accent when you hear it. It's like how at work they introduced me to the other Australian, and straight away you can hear the difference in the voice, obviously. But it's kind of like a nice little fresh breath of home. But that one of the comedy thing was just a little bit too intense. I was like, that's a real outback Australian accent, and it was kind of feral. But anyway, so we went there, and then we went to one of those sports bars that you see in typical American TV shows that have about 11 different large screens behind the bar, and tiny little screens next there with the scores on it, and everyone's just watching the game on these TVs, and they're all cheering and whatever. And it was just really an intense environment to come into, because you see it on TV, but you don't actually think it's real. So we sat outside because there's no seats inside, but that was really funny to go there and see that. That was actually a really good night. We went out to another bar afterwards and had a drink, and then we went home kind of early, because I think I had work the next day. But yeah, it was on top of that, I've started making some friends. I've got 2 people that I'm becoming relatively close with, which is Sean and Kyle. I've done quite a bit with them. I've done dinners with both of them. Watched TV and done that sort of stuff. I've recently started getting into Game of Thrones thanks to Kyle. which is actually a really, really cool show. If you haven't watched it, I would highly suggest that. That's also something else funny. They have the weirdest announcements, but anyway. Yeah, so I got into that, and I actually spent the other day wandering around because it's Memorial Weekend, so that's like kind of like our Anzac Day back home, and they have like a long weekend. They've got Monday off, so I spent the other day wandering around the city with Kyle. We went to Battery Park, which overlooks the Statue of Liberty. So we stood from the mainland and looked at the Statue of Liberty. There's like all this like military sort of like history along there, and they like cover like all that sort of stuff. So we went along there, and I took quite a few photos. So I might actually upload them at the end of the video. I'll put them in like separately. But that was really interesting. I got a few photos there. Then we went up to Union Square and we had lunch and sat around the park for a little bit. Really, really cool area, very trendy. If I had a lot of money and I was staying in for good, I'd love to stay in that area because it's just really, really cool. We went to like a little, like I think it's like a chain restaurant, but it was really nice food. But it's kind of like salsas back home, like Mexican kind of like takeout stuff. But yeah, it was cool. Then I really wanted to go to Times Square during the day, so I made him go to Times Square. He was really uninterested, so I made that a quick little adventure. And we went to the Hershey's store, and there's this giant block of chocolate, which is probably the biggest block of chocolate I've ever seen in my life. It's $39, so I'm going to go buy that before I leave, I think. What else? Then went on the topic of candy. Day service to Yankees is one of the street station. Pick up a game time table today or go to mta.info for schedule details. Take the train to the game. I thought I'd stop while that announcement was on. So you can hear their funny accents. On the topic of candy, we went to like a little shop on 60th Street, and it's called Dylan's Candy. That was really, really cool because it's like rows and rows and rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of lollies. And I don't know if you know me, which I'm hoping you do, because I don't want weirdos watching my videos, but you would know that I love sweet things and I love anything that's got sugar, chocolate, whatnot. So I filled a massive bag of it and took it home, and I ate it all that night because I'm a fat ass. I've joined a gym. It's pretty much 14 blocks down from where I live. Which most people here would be like, oh, that's too far. But I really like it because it's a good distance for a good walk before I go to the gym and get the heart racing before I get there, listen to some music and calm down after work, that kind of thing. The gym's pretty much the same as back home. It has the exact same sort of equipment, but it's like 4 levels. There's like a basement, a middle level, and a top level, and there's like a side level. It's really, really weird. But they are really nice there, and it was the cheapest I could find, which was $40 a week, in comparison to some of the gyms which are $180 a month, which is incredibly insane and expensive. I mean, I was paying the same as I'm paying here back home, so it was a bit of a reality shock when the first gym I looked up was $180 a month. I was like, are you fucking serious? I'm not paying $45 a month. I'd rather get fat for the duration of my time here and then get skinny money back. On top of that, the city's very expensive, but let's not cover negatives because that's not very cool. So for the next couple of days, I think I'm going to go get a social security number. I've got a bit of work on, and I think I'm going out on Friday night with Sean, which will be cool. We're going to hit up the town, or the city I should say, for my first G Club experience in New York City. What I might do is I might quickly rotate the screen, show you what's around me, and show you that I am actually in Grand Central, just after all this traffic walked by. So they're not in my video. And I might leave on that note because I'm going to go down to Soho and walk along Hudson Park. Bye.